Hi everyone, today we are going to look at the different ways you can search databases for your background research. Specifically, we're going to try to find as many credible sources as possible at the very minimum through this entire semester of building to your project proposal. You'll need a minimum of 11. So you want to make sure you find all the good stuff as possible. Typically, my first stop when it comes to background research is going to be Google Scholar. Why? We live in a Scholar or in a Google world, so maybe I'm interested in something on microplastics, such as urethane or polyurethane. However, if I just type in urethane into Google Scholar, it uses its Google brain and gives me way too many things and probably stuff that I don't care about. So let's make sure when we use things like Google Scholar that we are much more specific and use more keywords when searching. For example, maybe I care about how urethanes affect kidneys, or maybe ways that urethanes are used for kidney diagnostics or treatment or interventions. And lo and behold, when I search for that, it does give me much fewer results, 33,000, definitely more manageable. And I can always filter the stuff by year. In fact, I tend to tell students, pay attention to things within the last 10 to 15 years. So if we say 2015 to 2025, now my results have gone down to 12,000. And not all those are things I'm going to be looking at. When you're in Google Scholar, you'll see a bunch of different things that may or may not be accessible to you. For example, this third result here, a bioartificial environment for kidney epithelial cells, does have a PDF on the right side here. You can see that link on the right side that says PDF from, I'm guessing, Denmark here? I don't know, we'll see. When we click on it, we get the PDF file, which means that I can directly download it right away. I can print it right away. I can send it to Mr. S to print right away. It makes it super easy. You don't have to do any more searching. But sometimes, like the second one, a modified biodegradable mesh ureteral stent, a stent for ureter, interesting. Anyways, you'll find an article that may or may not be accessible. In fact, this one right here, if I get through all the cookies and stuff, says access through your organization. And let's be frank, we're a public high school. We don't have access to every single article in the world. It's just not possible. So this one right here is not accessible to us right away. I say right away because you'll see that all these articles have authors right there that have contact information. Here's a tip of the trade here. Sometimes, in fact, often, you may be able to email, or I may be able to email on your behalf, these professors or scientists and see if they can supply us with a copy of the article. Because what they really want is as many people to read them as possible. They don't care if you don't pay for it. The publication cares if you don't pay for it, but we don't care about the publication. We care about the research, and the researchers want you to read it. So if you run into one that you really want that you don't have access to, because this is only the abstract in the introduction, it doesn't really give you all the meat and potatoes of it, ask me to help you out. After Google Scholar, there is another pretty open access publication that is available to us that's very good. It's PubMed. And maybe, just maybe, using PubMed for things like articles can also be a good way to get more information that is specifically designed for medical research. You can also find things like case reports and case studies where patients have these weird diseases and doctors report on it individually. You can find that all in here. So let's do that same search, urethane and kidney. Let's see what happens. Again, I get a bunch of results, only 153 with this one though. I can filter it by year. Let's say last 10 years, 15 years or so. 2014 is good enough. I could also use those buttons right there. That's totally fine. And I do want you to try to use the free full text filter down here so you only get free stuff try the free stuff first before we go on a wild goose chase to find you an article. So this one right here is a free article available that talks about how urethane suppresses renal sympathetic nerve activity. And it's right there. We can email it to me so I can print it out for you. You can save it to your Google Drive, which is just like downloading it. You can see all the information needed right there. This one in particular has an extra link to go to actually see the rest of the article. So this is only the abstract. Here is the article itself. Free download. There it is. Not a very long article. Not all of them will be 15 pages. This one's only 4. Pretty good. Again, you can always try all text available, and you'll see more and more available. But if we can't find the free journal there, it is a little bit more challenging to ask a doctor for an article rather than a researcher. So if any of these are doctors instead of researchers, they might be too busy to cough up the things that we need. And we can see that this one's not available if we go to the free, the text that it said here in that link right there. So stick with the free ones if you so can. Okay. There are 2 more databases available to you. They are available through our Fort Zumwalt North High Library. So you would go to the North High Library's website and click on databases right here. I'll have a link available to this particular page for you in Canvas, as well as Google Scholar, as well as PubMed. For the library, it is easiest to access this while you're at school. There are ways around the paywall while you're at home, such as when you use EBSCOhost, there are a username and password that we can use. Let's go ahead and try out Gale, and we'll click on the one that says Science, because we're in Science, and see what urethane and kidney health will come up with here. Looks like there are only 2 academic journals available through Gale for this particular activity. We did have full text as an automatic filter right there. If that's not checked for you, please check it for yourself. We could also click on peer reviewed to make sure we get as many credible eyes on these papers as possible. But once you have some results here, you click on it again. And here you can see the abstract and introduction methods. If you want a cleaner copy to read and save, you can send it to your Google Drive. You can download it. You can print it or send it to me to print. All of those are options for you. If there is ever anything that you want to refine any further, there are advanced searches in here that are right next to the search bars. So please let me know if you want to use those, and I can help you out with that to refine your topics. But hopefully you have a good enough understanding of your topic that you can refine your results on your own. Another academic journal we have access to, the last of the 4, is EBSCOhost, and this one will actually have you select a specific part of EBSCOhost, which is Academic Search Elite. Same deal as the rest of them. I'm going to search urethane and kidney to see how urethane affects kidney health, or if we can use urethanes in kidneys. And here I have 94 results. There are definitely some filters up the top right here, so we can go ahead and use full text so we can actually afford them. Peer reviewed is always nice. I can search by the last 10 years. Only 2 are available to me. We can go ahead and see them here. Make sure that you hit the buttons that say access when you need access to it, because it will have the PDF available to you. But look at that, 14 pages of goodness to read. Up in the top corner, EBSCOhost does a great thing of downloading, printing as well. It'll develop a citation for you. I'm not sure if it'll develop an AMA citation, and that's what we're going to use in this class. So take a look at that for me. But there is one other option here, and that would be listening to it as an audiobook. Yes, you can use my headphones to listen to the article if you prefer that instead. That is it to searching for articles. Really and truly, those big 4 are going to be the best things for you to be able to use for your databases to find all the articles you need. Sure, you could spend all your time on Google finding a bunch of information, but that doesn't guarantee that it's credible, and that doesn't guarantee that you'll find the things you're really looking for. And of course, AI is not going to be reliable all the time either, because it's basing it on too much information all at the same time. So my advice, kick it old school. Use Google Scholar, PubMed, EBSCOhost, or Gale to get your information. Let me know how I can help you with your searching.